What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick. I'm going on a journey through all the MCU movies, all the way to Avengers Doomsday. Today we're going to be ranking Phase 1 of the MCU. Just want to remind everybody this is just my ranking. It's not the definitive ranking. I'd love to know your ranking. Go ahead and comment it down below. Let's get to the video. So coming in at last place for me, it's really the only MCU movie in Phase 1 I'd give a negative review to, and it's Thor. To me, this movie just doesn't do anything special for me. I'm not a big fan of the Dutch angles. I get what they were going for with the third act, but to me it just wasn't. It's the worst of Phase 1. And while Anthony Hopkins' performance is great, Tom Hiddleston's performance is pretty great. Chris Hemsworth was also pretty good in his role. Natalie Portman is great as always. But to me, it never meshed together very well. Nothing in this movie is necessarily terrible. It's just that nothing in this movie really stands out to me. There were a few funny jokes, but being funny isn't what makes a superhero movie great. I mean, it can elevate it for sure, but the story, the action, and the acting, and it all meshing well together is what makes it great. Even though the story itself could have been good, the acting was good, the action was okay. I'm sure there's a version of this movie that could have been like an 8 or a 9 out of 10, but it just, for some reason, it just never clicked. For some reason, it just didn't work with this movie. If I were to give it a score, it'd be a 2.5 out of 5 or a 5 out of 10. To me, it's a below average superhero movie. Coming in at number 6, even though I gave it an 8 out of 10, which I give every movie from here on out an 8 out of 10 or higher, number 6 is still Iron Man 2. I enjoy this more than most people. I think it's much better than people give it credit for. The main problem with this movie is neither villain is very good. Justin Hammer's just flat out annoying. Whiplash doesn't get enough screen time or enough of a story arc to be very compelling. However, I think it does further Tony Stark's story. I think it further Tony's and Pepper's romance. And I think it does a good job of putting us even more into this world. It does a great job of bringing in S.H.I.E.L.D, bringing in Black Widow, and furthering the idea of the Avengers. Like, my only complaint about this movie really is the villains. Even though the third act is still fun, the villains just aren't compelling. Now, coming in at number 4, this might surprise some people, but I have Iron Man 1. To me, I think why everyone puts this in their top 10 is just because it started everything. It kicked off the MCU, so I think it gets a little bump because of that. To me, this is still a good movie, even a great movie at times. Really, for me, I could rearrange 4, 3, and 2 depending on my mood, usually. But the reason I have this ahead of Iron Man 2 is I think, 1, it's just a better Tony Stark story to me. 2, origin stories, if done right, to me are more interesting, even though the final battle is not really that good to me, and the villain, again, isn't very compelling. Obadiah Stane is not that interesting of a villain to me. This movie just has a very good vibe to it. It's easy to watch. You don't have to know a whole lot. And really, after Phase 1, there really isn't hardly any movie you could watch without seeing these movies. Iron Man's origin is great. The villain is mediocre. The final battle, mediocre. And for that reason, I have it 4th. Coming in at 3rd place, I got Captain America: The First Avenger. This movie's really growing on me after every rewatch. This is the first time I've had it ranked ahead of Iron Man 1. Maybe it's because I really like war movies, and so that really hit home this time around. But at the same time, to me, the villain was more compelling. The final battle was better, and to me, there was an overabundance of jokes, but the jokes they did have really landed on rewatch, more so than some of the jokes in Iron Man 1 or 2. I mean, obviously those had jokes that hit, but they had far more, and so when you have a joke and it doesn't hit, it's worse than not having a joke. But Captain America 1, the way they go about his origin, to me, is great. His Steve Rogers character in this first movie is just amazing. It shows how much he's willing to sacrifice, how much he just wants to be a part of the fight. And at least in phase 1, how much he really wants to do the right thing. Chris Evans gave a great performance. Sebastian Stan was also great. Tommy Lee Jones is great as always. To me, the action in this movie kept me more interested than every phase 1 movie that I've listed before this. Again, maybe it's just because it's a war movie and I like war movies, but the score here is fun. And if I were to give this a rating, this is also an 8 out of 10, but I'd give it a high 8. A high 8 out of 10, a 4 out of 5, whatever metric you want to go by. I really enjoyed this movie. Coming in at number 2 is The Incredible Hulk. That might be surprising to some people, but I love this movie. I grew up loving this movie, so maybe nostalgia has a part in it, but the action here is great. The few jokes they have are good. The acting is great. And we get Hulk versus Abomination. We get Hulk doing his Hulk smash. I mean, who doesn't love that? Maybe the story isn't as well put together as Iron Man 1 or Captain America, but the Hulk carnage is just so fun to me that it pushes it over the top. This is my favorite solo phase 1 movie, and I think we know what's coming next. And at number 1, of course, is The Avengers. This is a perfect superhero movie. It's a perfect conclusion to phase 1. It's a perfect team-up movie. And in some ways, it has a lot of sports movie isms in it that I never noticed. And I really love sports movies, so that was just another aspect of it that I noticed this time around that I really enjoyed. Most of the action in this movie is the heroes bickering with each other. The jokes here are still funny 14 years later. Doth mother know you weareth her drapes? Perfect. I do. I understood that reference. Perfect. Puny God. Perfect. All the jokes in this movie are good. The action in this movie is top notch, especially for phase 1. Phil Coulson's sacrifice, heartbreaking. And at the end of the movie, Iron Man proves Captain America wrong by making the sacrifice play. He sacrificed his life to save New York, to save the world. And another thing about the final battle is every hero had a chance to shine. That's not always easy to do. Sometimes in a solo movie, the hero doesn't even get a chance to shine. So when you're doing a team-up movie and all 6 of the Avengers have a chance to showcase their abilities, showcase their skills, you did something right. Avengers is a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10. Perfect superhero movie. If it's not in your top 10 MCU all time, what are we even doing? What's wrong with you? Get help. I'm just kidding. I love this first movie. This is one of the best MCU movies to this day. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you haven't seen it in a while, go watch it again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, click the like button. Share your ranking down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.